Still sending the same email for every buyer? That's not sales, that's self-sabotage. In 2025, spray and pray is dead, and top reps are using AI to reverse engineer the buyer psychology at scale. This is how I booked 30 meetings in 3 weeks. No magic formulas, no fancy tools, just one ChatGPT prompt and a buyer persona matrix that turns every message into a mirror. And it's not just me. With this exact framework, I help hundreds of sellers from top companies achieve the same results and go from average to top performance. Today, I will give you the exact prompt, walk you through the matrix, and show you why this flips your cold outreach from guesswork into guaranteed positive replies. You just need to copy and paste it into your ChatGPT account, adapt it to your solution in your business, and in less than 5 minutes, you're good to go. Ignore it? No problem. You will keep getting ghosted while smarter reps hit quota. Here is why most sellers are stuck. They build one generic pitch, they blast it into hundreds of leads, and then they wonder why no one replies. Let me tell you something. A founder, a head of sales, a CMO, they care about completely different things. Maybe they have the same product, but they have different pains, different priorities, different language. And if you don't speak theirs, then you're out. Recently, a SaaS sales engagement tool from the UK increased by 27% their pipeline volume in just 3 weeks because they adapted the offer and the message to each persona, saying exactly what the prospect wanted to hear. It's not magic, it's just making sure you interrupt the pattern and your message is totally different from what other thousands of sellers are sending. So here is what I did for you. I reverse engineered every persona I was targeting using ChatGPT, not just titles or simple roles. I'm talking about the real buyer psychology. And I created a buyer persona matrix that broke down my prospect top 3 pains and challenges, the top 3 symptoms they feel every day because of not solving those challenges, and the KPIs they are responsible for and how they are impacted by those symptoms. Based on that, it will give me how my solution would feel like a cheat code for them. Now let me walk you through how this buyer persona matrix prompt works, what's the anatomy to make it powerful, and how you can use it to create the most highly relevant emails for your cold email campaigns. So if you can see here, this is the prompt that you will find in the description of this video, and I will explain how you can use it on your specific solution, product, or service right now. So the first thing that we need to understand is how the structure of the prompt is generated. So basically we say first, we tell the ChatGPT that we want the GPT to act as a VP of sales with plus 10 years of experience in prospecting and qualifying customers, as well as generating high quality meetings and outbound flows. You can change this, adapt it to your own purpose, but this is how we start every prompt. Once we have that done, we explain what are the things that we want to happen after we give all the information. So we want to create a 5-column matrix and comparison chart where you define the ideal persona, title, role of the ideal buyer persona within the company who can decide, evaluate, and purchase a solution like the one that you are selling. And from there, we start adding all the details, all the context, all the information about your company. And the more we can add, the more information you can be able to input into the prompt, the better, because the outcome will be better. The quality of the buyer persona matrix will be even higher. So what we have to add here as an example is, who do you sell to? What is your value proposition? In which industry are you operating? What are the pains or use cases or challenges that you are solving? And who are you targeting? Once you add all this information, the most important thing is to define the next steps. You are telling what are the things that we want and in which order the ChatGPT to perform. So basically, we are explaining the step-by-step process that we want the GPT to say, to do, and to act in order to create the most powerful buyer persona matrix ever. So let me walk you through an example. This is basically a performance marketing agency that is called Yellowhead. And as you can see here, we say, hey, Yellowhead is an AI-powered performance marketing agency that optimizes paid and organic strategies for growth. And here is where I give the context. Our unique value lies in the different topics that I want as a value that we have in our company. The solution differs from competitors because, and I state all the different items on why I know we have a unique selling proposition. Then, who do we sell to, in which industries, and what are the pains or challenges that we solve? And from there, we jump into the specific steps. So, let's see how this works. We jump into ChatGPT. I already have the prompt in the ChatGPT. I copied and pasted it here. So I hit the enter button, and we will see that in less than a couple of seconds, we will have already the buyer persona matrix generated here. And this is the most powerful thing that we can do, because once we have the buyer persona matrix that we will see right now how this performs, we can use it to create the emails that I was saying before. This is how you're going to use the buyer persona matrix to create the most impactful emails ever. So as you can see, for, in this case, Yellowhead, that is the marketing performance agency, we define three personas: the CMOs or VPs of marketing, the director or head of performance marketing, and the product marketing lead or app marketing managers. Each of them has three top challenges in 2025: inefficient media spend allocation across different specific things, increasing creative fatigue, hurting performance, and struggling to connect top funnel branding to bottom funnel ROAS. In this case, for head of performance marketing, we can say that the challenges are limited insight into which creatives truly drive performance, platform algorithm evolve faster than the internal team skills, and so on. Or, for example, need to hit the customer acquisition cost or return on ad spend targets across multiple geos or channels. Lastly, different pains for the product marketing lead. So as you can see, each persona, different challenges. So never target the different personas with the same message. This is where most sellers fail. They just copy and paste the same template. They just change some variables, and they think that copying, pasting, and sending and blasting hundreds of emails exactly the same to the different personas will give them results. And this is exactly the opposite of what we have to do. But here is where the magic happens. If we go into the symptoms of it, this is where we need to focus. This is where you need to start thinking about how you can solve your prospect pains and challenges. So as you can see, the head of marketing or the head of growth might have inefficient media spend allocation across UA and organic. So basically, the symptoms of this problem, or one symptom of this problem, is declining return on ad spend, increasing budgets. So remember, you don't have to target the problem, because most likely either they don't know that they have that problem, or every seller is targeting within the same value proposition, solving the same pain. But what most likely no one is doing and you have to do is to target the symptom. And let me put you a simple example. If you have fever, you will have your temperature high, right? That's the symptom, but you don't know the cause or the root of the symptom of the fever. You might have COVID, you might have a flu, you might have a virus, or you might have any other disease, but you are not sure about. What you are tackling, what you are attacking is the symptom. You know, if the symptom goes away, the problem might most likely goes away as well. That's why you, in your emails, need to use the buyer persona matrix, targeting the symptom that will help them understand that if they are going through that they can feel it, because this is something that they go through every day on their daily operational things. They might understand that the problem that is the root can be something that you can solve for them. On top of that, we can connect that symptom into the KPI of that specific persona. Remember, each persona has different responsibilities and they are being measured differently. That's why it's important that if we understand that the head of growth or the CMO are in charge of rising, or basically in this case, getting lower customer acquisition cost, if they have increased customer acquisition cost because of a declining ROAS, despite increasing budgets, maybe they have this inefficient media spend allocation. And this is exactly what you can solve in a reverse engineering. This is how your solution can impact their KPI, the one that it's basically their responsibility, not the one for the company, the one for them, and each KPI for each persona is different. And how that KPI or that positive impact that you will have on their KPIs will solve a symptom that they have every day that will ultimately solve a problem or a challenge that they are facing. And this is how you can start using your buyer persona in your own way in order to create highly relevant, targeted, amazing emails. In fact, to tell you a story, Tim, an SDR I trained, changed the whole approach, moving from feature-centric to prospect-centric just by following this buyer persona matrix. He didn't believe that one simple movement could positively impact his whole performance and results that much. He went from getting 0 replies over emails to getting 3 answers in less than 24 hours. The result? My messaging became unique. Each outreach hit exactly where it hurts, and people starting replying like, "This is exactly what I needed. How did you know?" Because I did my homework using AI and ChatGPT in this case. You can see the exact prompt and example I built for a client. The prompt, the output, and how the matrix comes together step by step. I drop all the details in the description. Copy the prompt, get it, use it, grab the template, and start building your own buyer persona matrix today. It's easy. ChatGPT will spit out a persona profile, and you can use that to build messaging that actually lands. Now you're not guessing, you're just strategizing how to become a better seller. I gave this prompt to a client last month. It's a team of SDRs getting less than 0.8% reply rates via email. We built the matrix together, we wrote their messages using persona-specific hooks, and what happened? 40 minutes after sending the first email, Dante got a positive reply. He even said to me, "It's been months since I last saw something like this via email." Within a week, reply rate jumped to plus 4.3%, booked 7 qualified meetings, and reps were like, "Hey, why haven't we been doing this all along?" Because no one teaches this. Sellers are taught to spray and pray, to just send more and to do more. I teach precision. To conclude, here is your playbook. Pick your top 3 or 4 buyer personas. Adapt the AI prompt based on your business and solution. Create and build that buyer persona matrix on your own and start crafting unique messages for each persona. Then just watch your reply rates explode. It's simple, it's powerful, definitely an unfair advantage that every seller must have. If this helped, don't just sit there. Drop a comment with your strategy. Share this with one of your colleagues so they can become top performers too. And subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss the next tactical video and episode coming out soon. If you want my help on building the matrix, just drop me a DM on LinkedIn and I will give you a hand. You can find the toolkit in the description of this video. And again, don't be the seller sending noise. Be the one who understands the buyer. Be that top seller. See you in the next one.